A case survivors have been fighting for decades has officially come to a close. Former students from the Family Foundation School in Hancock put their abuser on the stand, and on Monday, former teacher Paul Geer was found guilty in federal court. 12 News' Aaron Lawler spoke with alumni and is live in the studio with more information. Aaron.
Thank you, Nicole. In April of 2024, Paul Geer was indicted for coercing, transportating, and sexually abusing students. On Monday, Geer was found guilty on 4 out of 6 counts. A warning for our viewers, this story will touch on deeply disturbing facts involving sexual assault and torture.
Like an abused child becomes an adult with memories, and we don't forget, and a lot of us come back for answers and justice.
Tucked away in the mountains of Hancock, up an 8-mile-long windy dirt road, was a boarding school for teens.
Were manipulated, the children were manipulated, the staff was manipulated, everybody was manipulated, and for what?
The behavior modification program at Family Foundation School was founded by recovering alcoholics Tony and Betty Argyros in 1979, later to be taken over by their son, Emmanuel, or Mike Argyros. Mike later changed the name to Allenwood Academy, which closed in 2014.
It was a much different place in the 80s and 90s than it was in the 2000s. They were investigated the entire time they were open. And a lot of those investigations had them changing a lot of their protocol, like the blankets and the duct tape.
After years of torture,
I ate the old moldy tuna. I threw it up, and they forced me to eat my vomit in front of everybody.
Manipulation.
Instantly saw that he was a maniac from day one. This guy had the worst temper of almost anyone I've ever met, and he was a control freak.
Sexual assault.
She immediately looked at my schedule and told me under no uncertain terms that whatever I had to do, I had to get out of choir and stay away from Paul. She saved my life. She's the reason I'm not a victim in this case, right? She's the reason I'm alive to this day.
And leaving more than 150 alumni dead by suicide or overdose, the survivors have regained their voice. Paul Geer, the choir teacher and leader of Family 6, was put on trial for 6 counts. 3 counts of coercion and enticement, and 3 counts of transportation with intent to engage in criminal sexual activity. Those actions happened in 1994, 2000, and 2001.
Unwrapping the emotion of what it was like there, and like how that emotion has been in my body for all these years, I haven't been able to like put words to it until like the past few years. And even like with Paul's case, it's like all of us have been able to come together and be like, oh my God, like.
The evidence at trial proved Geer tortured students, depriving them of food or forcing them to eat regurgitated food, binding children in rugs and leaving them in empty, isolated room for days or hours, and forcing children to perform physical labor. Geer also took 2 students across state lines with the intent to engage in sexual activity. While on those trips, Geer raped each of the 2 children.
He's facing 50 years in prison. We don't expect Paul Geer to ever see the light of day again.
It's a historical case for the industry because now other industry survivors will have a case to point to, that hopefully will set precedent and start to change laws.
It feels really, really validating, like I'm being acknowledged, seen, and heard, which also feels like hopeful.
For all counts, Geer faces a sentence of up to 25 years in prison, a fine of $500,000, and 10 years of supervised release. The sentencing is scheduled for July 9th, 2025. 12 News reached out to the former owner of the Family Foundation School, Mike Argyros, who says he has no comment on the matter. Reporting live in studio, Aaron Lawler, 12 News.